Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And we got the Li Ning All City 9 V2. I know, long name. And this, of course, this is just the regular All City 9. And as you guys all know, the All City 9 is one of my favorite shoes to play and it's freaking amazing. The V2 is going for 150 bucks. So if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And the traction is pretty much the exact same. There's really nothing different about the traction from the regular AC9 to the AC9 V2. And the AC9 has freaking amazing traction and the V2 has freaking amazing traction as well. I mean, I already played a couple of times in the V2 and it's awesome, guys. And like, I don't know what they did with the rubber compound. I mean, you would think that it wouldn't have great traction, but like, it's awesome. It grabs really well, not a whole lot of dust pickup, also very durable. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have another pair of AC9s over there. And I got two pairs just because I really liked it, you know what I mean? So the traction, I mean, AC9 is amazing. The AC9 V2 is also going to be amazing as well. Moving on to the cushioning setup, pretty much the exact same thing as well from the V2 to the AC9. And we have full length cloud foam, and cloud foam is it's high density, so it makes the shoe overall a little bit heavier than I would like, but it's soft. There's a good amount of compression, especially here in the heel. And then in the forefoot, we have a boom foam. And you guys can kind of see it, you know, if you look at the eclipse plate a little bit. I mean, it's not called eclipse plate, I know. But that's just what I call it because Jordan Brand kind of made it and I guess Li Ning kind of bit them. But anyways, yeah, so also if you look from the bottom of the shoe, you guys can see like where the ball of your foot is. They made a little bit of a cutout and you guys can see the actual Boom foam. Boom looks very, very similar to Boost. It's probably from like the same company maybe, but they probably mess with the formula and stuff like that and add a little bit more rubber or whatever to Li Ning's liking and make it boom, right? So anyways, yeah, the V2 feels pretty much the exact same as the AC9, just a regular one. As far as the insole goes, the insole is pretty much the same as well. There's a little bit of foam to it. It feels nice, which improves the step-in comfort. Court feel is good. Impact protection is great. You have a little bit of compression and a little bit of bounce here in the forefoot as well. So it feels great. You know, the cushioning setup is really, really nice and I enjoy playing it a lot. I mean, pretty much we have the eclipse plate as well. That's the exact same, and like the traction and the cushion is the exact same. That's pretty much recycled in the V2, right? The only thing that's different is the materials and also the lacing system, which of course is very, very obvious. So here in the AC9, in this colorway, actually, we have like a textile material, and then the other color that I have, it's a textile material as well. It feels very thin, but also very supportive. There's like no stretch to it. It doesn't feel cheap either. You know, it feels very, very nice, very quality, feels great on foot. It's comfortable and all that, right? Here in the AC9 V2, we have like a, it seems like there is a textile material underneath this purple mesh. I would say it's around the same thickness and it feels pretty similar on foot, to be honest. There's like a circular fuse here on the medial side of the shoe, which is kind of weird. And here on the lateral side, we have kind of like stitching, like a half circle stitching, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, the material that they use is kind of different, but it feels very, very similar here in the forefoot. As far as the tongue goes though, the tongue, I would say the regular AC9 and the V2 have pretty much the same amount of padding. You know, they're very, very large tongues and they have a lot of padding in both of the tongues. I would say the AC9 is a little bit thicker, just a tiny bit thicker, but the V2 still has a good amount of padding in it as well. Very comfortable. I like how it feels on foot, right? But one thing that's different though is the tongue, like, it's kind of like a one booty, you know? It reminds me a lot of the LeBron 16. Remember that flap tongue? This is pretty much the exact same thing. And I love how easy it is to kind of like slide the shoe on, you know what I mean? So you kind of like open the tongue. It's super easy to open up the tongue. And then you slide your foot in pretty much like a sock or like a slide or something. And then you tighten up the straps here in the V2. And of course, straps are a lot faster. And also I would say straps, if done correctly, have more lockdown than just regular traditional laces, right? Of course, here in the regular AC9, we got regular laces. And here in the V2, we have two straps, right? So we got one strap here in the forefoot and it kind of comes here into the midfoot. And we have two loops. You know, it makes two loops, one here on the medial side and one here on the lateral side. So once you tighten it, you definitely feel like the forefoot and midfoot just tighten on your foot. It feels really, really nice. And then you tighten it here on the medial side of the shoe. I did have one problem. It wasn't a huge problem. I never felt the strap like undo, but you know, when I was playing, I kind of felt it like flipping a little bit, you know what I mean? Just like this. So I wish they would have put the strap on the lateral side. But anyways, not a huge deal. Like I said, I didn't really have any issues with it actually coming undone, but I kind of felt it like where I heard the strap a little bit, you know? And then here on top of the tongue, we have one more strap. I definitely wish this pink strap was longer though, right? So it's a pretty short strap. And when you put the shoe on, obviously you want to undo the strap, right? And then when you kind of open the tongue, look, it just kind of goes like this, and then you put your foot in, and a lot of times it kind of like becomes undone. So you kind of have to put it through this like loop again and then loop it around, which is kind of annoying. I just wish it was like 2 to 3 inches longer. Minor hindrance, but you know, it definitely does help with lockdown and all that. So yeah, I mean, which lacing system do I like better? I mean, traditional laces, of course, you can't really go wrong with, but I love the system that they put in place here in the V2, right? It's super easy to put on, especially with this flap tongue. And it's also very, very quick, very convenient, and it helps a lot with the lockdown. You definitely feel the extra lockdown that the straps give you. And like, you know, laces loosen up when you play, and also so do straps. But then laces, you kind of have to undo it and tighten everything again, right? For the strap, you just go boom, and then just re-tighten it, super easy, and you can still get back on defense or whatever, right? So I like the convenience of it. So I would say I like the V2 a little bit better. Here in the ankle area, I would say they have the same amount of padding actually, you know, so very cozy, very comfortable. And then here in the forefoot, it's just really, really thin. Also, another little difference is, you know, in the regular AC9, we have this kind of like rubberized external TPU heel counter in the heel. Here in the V2, we have like a little set. It feels like a pretty cheap material, but it's just a different design here. As far as the fit goes, go true to size, and it fits pretty much the same as the regular AC9. Super snug here in the toe box. Lengthwise, I was good true to size, and widthwise, I would say it's slightly narrow. So I really like the fit here in the V2, just because it fits like the AC9, and I love the fit in the AC9, right? Of course, if you like to have a roomier fit, or you'll have a wide foot or a thick foot, I would suggest going up half a size, or maybe even a full size. Supporting lockdown, I also had no issues. You know, the AC9 was incredible. You know, we have the foam coming up a lot here in the forefoot, as well as here in the heel. And then same thing here in the V2, foam coming up a lot here in the forefoot and here in the heel. Also, we have the strap here. Of course, the strap is gonna help a little bit. You know, it thickens up the material, makes it a little bit stiffer as well here in the forefoot, as well as here in the midfoot. So for lateral containment, I had no issues with the V2. As far as the weight goes, I wonder which one's heavier. I feel like the V2 is gonna be heavier, right? Because it has straps. So 13.54 ounces for the regular, and then the V2 is 14.14 ounces. So that's like a 0.6 ounce difference, and 0.6 ounces isn't a huge deal, but I guess that is a little bit of weight. Obviously, that has to do with the extra straps. I guess like the plastic and extra material, right? Does it feel heavier? Not really, actually, you know, and they're both very, very responsive shoes. Like the traction is phenomenal, cushion is responsive, but with good impact protection. I had no issues with support, and the fit was really good. So my foot was just secured and locked down into place in both of the shoes. So yeah, it's just a very, very responsive feeling shoe in both of them. All right, moving on to the aesthetics. I feel like I like the regular AC9 better. I just like the aesthetics of just laces, you know, straps, or like, I guess just one booty uppers with no laces, kind of like the next levels. I'm not a huge fan of, you know, I don't know why, but you know, just in my opinion, I think the AC9 looks better. Tell us what you guys think looks better down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, should you get the V2 or should you get the regular AC9? You know, and it all depends on what you want. I feel like the V2 just is the better option. You know, the straps, it's more convenient. You get a little bit more lockdown. I mean, obviously, I had no issues with lockdown with the traditional lacing system here in the AC9, but you just feel a little bit more locked down, a little bit more secure with the straps here in the forefoot and also here in the midfoot, right? It's more convenient as well, and the traction is still really, really good. Fit's still really good. Support's still there. Cushion is still phenomenal. So I would say just go with the V2. But of course, if you don't like the aesthetic of the straps from the V2, then the AC9 is still a phenomenal option. So yeah, those are the differences between the All City 9 and the All City 9 V2. They're both incredible performers, and you basically can't go wrong with either of them. But I feel like the V2, functionality-wise, is a little bit better. But anyways, that's a comparison video. Hope this helped you guys out. Again, if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.